Hi there, Martin here at Orange Box Photography and welcome to the channel. So today I wanted to go through the new Lytro Light Field Camera which has just recently been announced. Lytro have announced that they're going to make this new camera available in the beginning of 2012, and you can actually pre-order on their website at lytro.com. I'll pop a link up above so you can go to their site and check it out. But Lytro's a new camera company as far as cameras go, but with a twist, because Lytro, unlike most modern cameras, you don't require to focus the image whilst you're taking it. In fact, you just take the picture and then refocus it later when you in post. So when you get it back home, stick it on the Mac or PC, it's at that point you can actually choose where your focus is. Not only that, you can change your mind and focus on a different part of your image as well. Now this is actually quite a fun thing. I think that's quite a good thing. I mean, the camera is aimed at the consumer market, so you know it's going to be aimed at people who are going to take fun pictures, you know, when you're out at parties, you know, all that kind of thing, and then upload those sort of pictures onto social media sites, so like Facebook and things like that. And the cool thing is that when you embed those pictures onto things like Facebook, your friends and family can also then play with the same picture and refocus those images. And we'll actually show you, you know, a brief look at how that actually works in live practice via Lytro's website. So they have some sample images on there, so we'll have a play with those so you can see what that actually looks like. So here we have a couple of sample images taken with the new Lytro camera. What I've done is I've taken these from Lytro's website and embedded them into my actual blog page. Now if we have a look, you'll see how this software works. And obviously remember, the software itself, which refocuses the image, is actually embedded in the image itself. And this is pretty much how it will work when you embed any of their images taken with the Lytro camera on social media sites and things like that. So if we have a look, if we click on any individual element of these pictures, you'll see how the Lytro software refocuses the image itself and shifts the focus over to the point on which you've clicked. So this is quite cool. If you have a look, if we click on the seals over here, and you'll see how things that you click on get in focus and anything else actually falls out of focus. So that's the Lytro sample images. You know, it's a pretty cool toy to play with. Whether you get bored of this after 5 minutes of playing with them remains to be seen, but certainly it's new, it's interesting. But longevity wise, it could get a bit boring just clicking on a picture and refocusing it. Certainly from my perspective, I like to sort of see a picture which was the way the photographer intended. But you know, it is a fun element which people will enjoy and like to play with. Now the camera itself, the specs of the camera, I'll run you through those. Now the camera itself has a constant f2 aperture. Now that means that it's going to be really good in low light. However, that can't be changed, so unfortunately you are limited when you want to start playing with depth of field. You are unfortunately stuck at the f2 aperture itself. Now the camera itself, its focal length is a 35mm equivalent, 35mm to 280mm, and it has an 8x optical zoom as well. Now the images that the camera actually produces, we don't have details on what those sizes are going to be. Unfortunately, Lytro itself have only said that they're going to be HD quality images. Now unfortunately this is just speculation. However, if that's the case, if we look at standard HD video, which is approximately 1920 by 1080 pixels, that's roughly going to be about a 2 megapixel image. Now that in itself, it isn't amazing. I mean, your iPhone 3GSs of the world already have that or better. So I mean, they're not going to be massive files. Now the camera itself is only going to come in two flavors, and it's going to be an 8 gig version or a 16 gigabyte version. Now this is internal flash memory, so you cannot increase that. It does not have the option to add extra memory cards in there, so you can't put SD cards in or any other type of card. Unfortunately, you are stuck with what it comes with. Although, you know, 8 gigabytes and 16 gigabytes is going to be ample for your consumer. They're not going to sit and fill that thing up, you know, because you're always going to be taking images off it. Now the camera itself, I've got a cut through of it which I'll put up on screen for you to have a look at. Internally it looks just like any other camera out there. Cut it in half, it looks no different than any other. The camera itself is only going to be available in the US, so where anybody in UK, Europe or anywhere else around the world, unfortunately you are not going to be able to order one of these cameras. Lytro are only selling it in the US to begin with, and unfortunately it's only one camera per person, which you can obviously order those currently on Lytro's website. So these are the price specs for the new Lytro camera. As you can see, it's going to be available in 3 colours: red, grey and blue. Obviously, yeah, starting at $399 US through to $499 US for the top range 16 gig version. Now here's the cut through of the camera that we were discussing earlier, and as you can see from the image, it pretty much is like an ordinary camera. You know, the lens set up inside to the sensor at the back, it all pretty much looks like an ordinary camera, so certainly no voodoo or box of tricks in there. You know, it is just a regular camera, obviously with that very colourful named 11 mega ray sensor, but you know, it's looking good as far as cameras go. Now Lytro has stated that upon release, at this moment in time, the Lytro camera itself will only currently work with Macs, and unfortunately it's going to be OS X 10.6 or higher you'll be able to use with the Lytro camera. Unfortunately, as it currently stands, there is no support for PCs running Windows-based operating systems. However, Lytro have promised to get a version out. The major disappointment for me, and as far as this camera goes, is the inability for you to plug in an external memory card. No SD card slot, you are stuck with what is inbuilt into the flash memory on the cameras themselves. And for me, that's a sad thing about this camera, because if you're out and about and you run out of memory on your camera and you don't have the option to actually take those images off the camera to free up memory space, you're effectively stuck with a camera which can't take any pictures. And for me, that's a big oversight, and you know, Lytro should hopefully fix that, either in the version before release, or certainly in the second release they should look at adding that kind of support so that people can put in extra memory cards into their camera. So there we are then, that's the new Lytro video camera, due out early 2012. Head over to Lytro's website, check it out, or you can pop over to my blog. I do have more information over at my blog. I'll put the link on the screen so you can check that out as well. As far as the camera goes, I think overall my opinion of it is it's going to be a good fun camera for those people out there looking for something nice, simple, straightforward, don't have too many controls on it, which certainly the new Lytro doesn't, and obviously with its funky square design, it's going to intrigue a lot of people. I think it'll turn out to be quite a popular camera of 2012, certainly for the consumer market at least. But I'll leave the rest of the opinions up to you guys. Post below, comment what your thoughts are on the new camera, good or bad. Let's hear what you've got to say. Thanks a lot. Obviously, if you have anything else to add, you can always email me at orangebox321@gmail.com. And that's it for now. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.